Alright. Volume's on. Okay. So this camera angle is brought to you by my left hand. Oh, I'm so conscious of myself now. I'm so used to vlogging with the intent of editing that I just say whatever I want and cut out the crap. I go through a fair amount of crap. But the point of this channel is to give you sort of a daily dose of me. And actually, I'm more interested in just having a space where I can kind of talk and practice and leave a digital journal. That's why I called it Walker is History. The history part being that I will be leaving a history. The Walker part because it's me. And the is because that's grammatically correct. So yeah, that's the point of this. I'm just wanting a place to sort of be more, I don't know, just something different than what I normally do. So I spent the better part of today, actually no, I didn't spend the better part of today doing this because the better part of today was work. But a large portion of today, in fact probably an equal portion to work, was I spent time working on my car in the parking lot of my work. Last night, my car broke down at work. You know, when your car doesn't start, you just want it to start. That's all you want it to do, and you don't care how that happens. And so, I don't know, it's a cyclical thing where you want it to start and it won't start. So you keep trying new things, each with the hope of it working, and then it doesn't work out necessarily. And yeah, so work is a bad place to have your car break down because then you're in front of the place where you work. That should be common sense, I think. And then it is just compounded by the fact that I had to work immediately after. Anyway, so anyway, and this is a problem that I told you the car broke down in White Sands, and the guy who was fixing it unplugged something. No, I want to give quotes to the unplugged. He actually unplugged something. What he did was he just, I don't know, he picked the right fluke, because at this point it seems like it's a fluke what is and isn't working. So at this point, I don't know. I know it has something to do with the electrical system. That's the only real answer that I have. So I replaced the coil, which I don't know much about the coil except that it is responsible for giving and controlling power to the distributor through something called the distributor cap. So there is a cylinder with, imagine a cylinder with like an upside down funnel on top of it with two electrical, or two little like leads. So you have like a posts, I guess a positive post and a negative post. And on my car I have like these little brackets that can go off of that so that you can plug multiple things onto the distributor coil, and so then you have that, and that my tachometer is connected to that, which was originally what we thought the problem was. We being me and the mechanic in Alamogordo. And then there is off the funnel thing. You plug in this sort of, I don't know, you plug in something there, and it's basically a straight wire that goes over to the distributor cap. The distributor cap has that very same funnel shape, only it has four smaller little funnel shapes where the leads to the spark plugs go. And the point of the distributor is that it sends electrical current to each spark plug in turn, so that the engine has an explosion in each cylinder in a certain order, one after another, so that you have the proper motion on the engine and blah 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 blah. So we're pretty sure that that's what it was. Me and my dad, and my dad doesn't live here, so I'm on the phone with him this whole time, taking pictures on the droid and emailing them to him so he can see what I'm doing. And meanwhile, the parking lot is filling up with cars, and I have like pretty soon I'm like boxed in by cars trying to work, and I have my cousin's car. She's loaned it to me so that I can do all this running around. And so it took me forever to get the coil out because it was like lodged in there. So I got the coil out. The coil being the part that gives power to the distributor. And then when I was working on the distributor, and then I started the car in between. I tried to start the car with the coil, and that didn't do anything. It didn't start. It just cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked and wouldn't turn over. So then I pulled out the cap and was trying to work out there's like something called the rotor inside. It's this spinning piece that has an electrical, it has a metal end, and it makes contact as it spins in a circle with the little metal contacts that then in turn give power to each spark plug. So that it spins around, and timing and all this is included in that. So I need to replace that rotor. So I pulled the rotor off, and I had the new part, and I put that on, and I couldn't get it on, and I couldn't get it on, and I was like, well, this is stupid. And then I realized, oh, it's because there's like this little plate that helps position it, I guess, and the plate was the opening was too small for this new rotor. So I thought, oh, well, I'll pull it out and maybe whittle away at it if it's plastic. Indeed, it was plastic, and I whittled away at it until I had a large enough hole to slide the new one in. And then I've discovered that that wasn't the only thing impeding it. There's like a little notch. There's like a shaft that comes up that the rotor sits on, and then each has a notch matching each other, so they slide together, and it actually has something to give it torque and spin. Well, inside the rotor, that was too big, so it wouldn't fit in the hole. So I had to run back to the auto parts store and give them that part and get a new one, but they didn't have my model car in their system, which I think is mysterious. My car is called a Volvo 240DL. It's on the stupid manual in the glove box. So I was like, well, that's the name of the car. And the guy said, well, the only 240 I have is a 1990. I don't know. So mine's an 86, whatever. So the guy says this auto parts store across town has it, so I run over there and buy this. And then by this time I'm starving because I haven't had anything to eat. It's like 12:30, so I stop by my favorite Chinese place, 2000 Wok on the corner of Fillmore, Nevada. Go there, and it's the cheapest, awesomest Chinese food you'll ever have. And the ladies are nice, and they say the same 10 or 15 words to you every time that they've kind of memorized. They say, "For here to go," and you tell them to go because the to-go box is bigger. And then you pay them their money, and they're like, 2 items, because you know that they charge it by item, by how much you get. And then they tell you that it's $3.76, and then I pay, and I always leave a tip, which was really good because one time I got a free meal out of it. But anyway, so I get my Chinese food, then I go back to the car, and meanwhile, time is just ticking by, and the time off that I have before work to do anything, primarily homework, is just gone. And I find out that this is indeed the right rotor. I get the rotor on there, the car still won't start, and then I replace the distributor cap with a new one, and the car still won't start. My dad suggests, well, you need to hotwire it maybe, and make sure that you're getting power to the coil, that there isn't an interruption between the battery and the coil. So I run to Home Depot, I buy some wire and some alligator clips, and I make this makeshift connection between the battery, the positive terminal on the battery, and the positive terminal on the coil. And this sounds like I know what I'm talking about, and I really don't. Most of this electrical stuff is over my head. I can replace a part so long as there's not a lot of things that have to come off that part and then go back on in a certain order. I can do that, but I had a lot of trouble visualizing what I need to do electrically because I don't positive and negative, and I don't know. It's difficult for me to get. Anyway, so I get that worked out, and I plugged it on, and I indeed made the connection work because without the key in, all the lights on my dash came on. I turned the key and started it, or tried to start it rather, and nothing happened. So then I finally gave in, and I called AAA and got the tow truck to come, and then brought the tow truck to my house and dropped the car off, and that was that. And then I had to get dressed and go to work, and that was my day. But anyway, I have a car till tomorrow evening. I'm borrowing again my cousin's car, and it's girly. Anyway, that's enough for today. This is probably a long video. I've recorded 11 minutes, and I will cut that down and make it slightly more interesting for you. So again, this is Walker is History. This is my digital journal for now, and I guess it'll also serve as my Vita channel because Vita requires you to vlog every day in April, and I've missed 2 days already, but that's just how it goes. So bye.